Hey everybody, we're back, and as you can see, I have my headphones on, which means that we are watching an episode of the Berenstain Bears this week. A little warning in advance. The content of this particular episode might be... I'm kidding, there's nothing wrong with the content of this episode. I have covered both of the episodes in this episode in the past of my episodes. In past episodes, I've covered the episodes in this episode that we're covering on this episode. Just so you know, it was years ago. I don't remember watching them, but I do remember that I covered them. So if you're playing along at home on your bingo card, you can check off covering things he's already covered before, and looks younger than his years. That's it. That's all I have to say. Let's get started. Welcome back to Deep in Bear Country, a Berenstain Bearcast. I am your host, Phil Gonzalez, and this week we already covered everything up top. If you're watching along at home, however, you might notice that I am on the other side of the screen than I usually am. You might think, oh, this must be some sort of hilarious creative choice, some way of throwing us off, keeping us on our toes. It absolutely is not. I simply couldn't install my camera in such a way as to get me at the right angle. I couldn't figure. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with anything anymore. Nothing works. Nothing works the same way twice. So what are we watching today? We are watching the Berenstain Bears Season 2, Episode 1 of the 1985, well, I guess now it's 86, Berenstain Bears Saturday morning TV show. This is an episode I distinctly remember sitting down and watching in 1980 whatever. Because the first episode of this episode is the Berenstain Bears and the Messy Room. And the following episode is the Berenstain Bears and the Talking Termite, or the Terrible Talking Termite. I can't remember. The book is, I think, the Terrible Talking Termite. The show is just the Talking Termite, something like that. I just remember that in the book, the termite learns karate, or there's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles gag in some way in the novel. It's a novelization. Otherwise, the Messy Room is based on the book that we've covered, and Talking Termite is the basis of a book that we've covered. And I'm pretty sure I watched the episodes when I did it. But in any case, I don't have much else to say. Are you ready to go watch some TV with me? Then come right along. Here we go. You're like, where's the little frame you usually have of the brother and sister, the picture frame? Got rid of that. It was just in the way. Got rid of that. But look at me. I'm all squished in this little box next to the screen.
This way to Bear Country. You'll know when you're there.
I've said it a billion times. Greatest theme song in the history of American television. History of American television, or Australian television, because this is made by an Australian company. Are they slipping in some secret Australian signals? We'll never know, because I'm not doing any. I don't know what that even means. Like, what was it like after this, we'll secretly all love wombats, I guess, is maybe all that they could really do. Fungus buds in our split little tree. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Factual. Big Boy Bears. Professor Ralph. Hugus T. Hugus T. Factual. The best. Hugus T, my favorite character in Bear Country. The Messy Room. Here we go. I don't remember if Mama gets quite as furious in this as she does in the book, but she gets pretty furious in the book. I have a feeling she does, because I have a visceral memory of watching this. Wish I could get this score on an LP. Release it!
Morning, Mrs. Bear. There's some mail for you.
Thank you, Mr. Mail Bear.
Mr. Mail Bear, is that his name?
Oh,
Maybe it's one word like Mail
Tree
Bear,
Housekeeping Magazine.
and he just lucked out with his job.
Excuse us. Hey, how about a game of Tiddlywinks?
Okay, I'll race you up to our room.
You're on.
Those cubs.
Did you play Tiddlywinks as a kid? Did you ever play Tiddlywinks? It's an interesting game. I do know that the parts of the game are called winks. How did they invent Tiddlywinks? What did they play with before plastic? Because those things are decidedly plastic chips. Were they wood? Could you play Tiddlywinks with wood?
Where am I?
These model treehouse rooms in Tree Housekeeping Magazine. Aren't they lovely?
Oh, they're nice enough, I suppose, but certainly no lovelier than the rooms in our very own treehouse. This lovely, gracious, neat as a pin living room, cozy, warm, comfortable in the extreme.
Oh, it's all right, I suppose.
And
I
our
don't feel like
delightful
Papa
dining
just doesn't
room,
want
a
to
room to be
listen to
proud
Mama
of.
at this
Floor
moment. He's like,
clean
why
enough
don't you
to
just
eat
shut
on,
up and
not
sit
to
over
mention
here?
table.
Yes, but
And, of course, your wonderful spick and span, perfectly delicious kitchen. A model room, if ever there was one.
I mean, and Papa did build all this,
Yes, but what?
so it's a little rude to complain
Yes,
about it.
But there's one place in this treehouse I'm not proud of. Brother and sister's room is a mess.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with me.
Knocked down, drag out, wall-to-wall mess. And I'm not going to stand
Tell
for
us
it
how
any
you
longer.
really feel,
I've put
Mama.
up with that messy
Goodness.
long enough.
Well, dear, I've got some urgent...
Yeah, I was just gonna say, get out of the house. Things are about to get bad, Papa.
For Pete's sake, sister, will you take your shot? We're playing tiddlywinks, not chess. Just hold your horses.
I mean, it's two very different games, requiring two very different skills.
Country school by rushing my shot.
Are there rules? Oh, I do remember this. This is intense.
Worse, it's Mama on the warpath.
This is beyond Big Paw terrifying.
Climbing the stairs. Stomping along the hall.
This is an angry mother. This is great. We don't get to see this. You won't get to see this in the PBS series.
Come in.
Yeah, we've been there. I had the messiest room as a kid. It was not unlike this, and I was just one child. My sister had a very neat room. I had a very messy room.
Hi, Mama.
Oh, she's... I wonder if Ruth Buzzy was just having the time of her life, finally getting to play anger. Just severe fury. Like just channeling all the rage she had in her mind.
Pretty nice collection of spiders you've got up here.
Yes, they're very useful. They eat the ants that come in for food crumbs.
Very clever. Isn't it hard to get around? I mean, in all
Ooh,
this
a little
mess.
funk track in the background? Yeah. Hey, brother, you're not helping.
Very impressive. How do you get this closet door open? To hang up your clothes, I mean.
It's not good.
Well,
It's not good.
We bother.
Don't.
We just sort
Yeah.
of hang them in different places around the room.
Well, this is very familiar in my house right
In
now.
fact, this is the most impressive mess I personally have ever seen. The filthiest,
All right.
dirtiest, most disgusting mess known to bears. Unquestionably the #1 messy room in all bear country. Destined to go down in the filthy, dirty Hall of Fame. And I am
Yikes.
just not going to
She
take it
just
any
loves
longer.
to scream. She just loves screaming. And we love it when she screams. I'm gonna knock you across this room. She's just furious. Oh, she just stepped on one of those spiders. Oh, no. Glue. She said-
Yeah, Mama.
Yeah, about
You had a
that.
perfect right to put your
Watch
foot
where you're
down,
stepping.
but
About
when you
that.
did,
Our
you put
glue
it
is down
right
there.
on my airplane cement.
That does it. That does it. Now hear this. I want this entire room cleaned. And for starters, I want this entire floor picked up clean, and I want it done.
Every parent knows the best way to get your kids to do a good job cleaning their room is just to tell them to do it loudly.
You heard
Always works. It certainly doesn't result in not cleaning the room. It's never happened. Kids love cleaning their room.
That stuff she picked up with her foot is a start. Look, we don't have time for smart remarks. You've got some heavy picking up to do. I've got some heavy picking up to do. How do you figure that? Most of this mess is yours. Oh, yeah? What about these? Your baseball cards?
This is something that happens in the book, but it only happens narratively in the book, as opposed to seeing it play out like this, the fight between brother and sister. I mean, it happens in front of us, but it's mostly talked about. It's very refreshing to see the cubs angry at each other and fighting with each other, something, again, that we lose a lot of in later bear years.
Models, and you leave them alone. I'm working on a setup of the Pleistocene age. Pleistocene, schmeistocene. That's that's what you get for kicking my stuffed bunny. You know something? What? This isn't getting the job done, and the minutes are ticking by.
Yeah, you know what you need is you need the Berenstain Bears cleaning the room card game with timer. That works very well.
What do you think? What do I think? I think we're in big trouble. And the 15 minutes are almost
I do like their bear clock.
What'll we do? I'm thinking I have a creative idea. We sure could use
I'm
one.
thinking we're
Mom's gonna have a
screwed.
fit if we don't get this whole mess off the floor and
Oh, she'll have more than that.
Precisely.
Are you allowed to say have a fit anymore? I don't think you're supposed to say have a fit. I think there's like some weird like ableist stuff going on with saying that. I don't think you're supposed to say that anymore. I'll have to tell my parents in 1985. It really does emphasize the anger of Mama Bear. Now she should be happy with
This
this.
is wonderful.
What we're wanting is simply floor upon which we can tread.
Yeah, you can get around the room without a pogo stick.
And look, with the floor clean, you can actually open the...
No, don't ever do this. And yeah, she Uncle Bucked it up. Designing Angry Mama had to have been a highlight too for Stan and Jan. Like, she gets angry in the book, but she doesn't get this level of angry in the book. Because we're not following her around the whole time. We just sort of like, she explodes and she grabs the box, starts throwing stuff away. But this is requiring us to sort of live with her through her anger, and I
It's for all
adore
this
it.
trash.
My dad did this once. It was a miserable experience.
Nothing, throw away trash.
He went in my room and he just started tearing everything out and throwing it in a trash bag. And my mom actually stopped him. She was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Please, Mama, not my dinosaur collection. Stop! That's my first baseman's mitt. Help!
Yeah, here we go. The screaming gets so loud it finally attracts the father. He's like, ugh. All right, once the screaming gets to a certain level, then I have to intervene. Did they just throw their stuff all around
A
again?
mess certainly has built up in this room. In fact, it's the worst case of messy buildup I've ever seen. Now let's sit down and talk this over calmly.
I do like that
So you
Papa
see,
is the voice
this
of reason
messy
in this
room
story.
Isn't fair. It isn't fair to your mama and me. We have a lot of other things to take care of. But it isn't fair to you cubs, because you really can't have fun or relax in a room that's such a terrible mess. What you need is a little organization, and maybe a box.
Not a trash box.
No,
Not
what
a
toy
trash box, brother.
I'll make you one. And
God
maybe
forbid.
a lot of other little boxes for your games and collections.
And then inside those, even smaller boxes.
And then we put them all in one large box called the house.
Good idea.
And then all of that goes into an even larger box. We call that box God. Again, good
Well,
music.
What do you think?
What about the closet?
Go ahead. Open it.
I'm not sure I dare.
Go ahead. Open it.
And it's good. It's all good. Bits and pieces. We got a box for our stamps and our dolls and our farm animals and our etc.
And a closet to be
It's all taken care of. We're good.
What about us? Yeah, aren't you proud of us too?
Absolutely.
I like Papa's pegboard.
Hey, what about yours truly, Papa Q?
And that hat that no one's ever worn.
What do you think, Cubs? Should we keep old Papa Q?
Aw.
Yeah, let's keep
The Q is for
Quiet!
Oh, name's not Papa, Q Bear. Okay, here we go. The Terrible Termite. So it's not the talking termite. It is not the terrible talking termite. It's the Terrible Termite. I was wrong on all counts. Terrible Termite. This termite is terrible. But is it a ninja? I guess we'll find out. I don't remember how ninja came into play.
What do you think,
It was in the
sis?
book, though.
Wanna head for home? Okay. Last one home is a rotten egg. Ready? Get set? Hold it, sis.
Wait a minute. Look over there.
Oh, it's that guy again.
It's that no-good swindler,
It's
Raffish Ralph.
It's Raffish Ralph.
He looks like he just lost his best friend.
Well,
He's
that didn't
hungover.
happen to
I'm just
Ralph.
gonna assume that he's hungover. If you see a man who is a horrible person walking slowly, I don't think it's your responsibility as children to intervene in their happiness.
Progeny of my favorite soccer sap. Citizen, Papa Q Bear.
You can just say it. We know your attitudes toward him at this point,
I'm all right,
Ralph.
you little pipsqueak. I'm Raffish Ralph, master of every slick trick
Yeah.
in the book. Named Swindler of the Year on 2 separate occasions. So mind your manners, Sonny, because I, Raffish Ralph, have done it all.
No offense, Mr. Ralph. Let's get out of here, sis.
Right.
Presumptuous little pipsqueaks. Probably grow up to be fine, upstanding citizens. Disgusting. Positively disgusting. Yeah, done it all right. That's the trouble. I'm all schemed out, gone
He needs a
stale.
woman.
I'm fresh out of ideas.
I need myself a woman. I
Why,
need to.
haven't come up with a really sleazy scheme of
I
the
need to get on the apps. Get myself a partner.
Up, you crow-footed bag of feathers.
Jeez Louise, Ralph. All right, take it easy. We don't need violence towards the animals.
Well, let's see what's in the mail.
Oh, I like his little stepping
The
stones.
latest issue of the Swindler's News.
Who publishes this, by the way? Is it an underground newspaper, or is it like a mainstream thing you can just pick up at the newsstand?
A billiard ball. Forget it. Who wants a hairy billiard ball?
I was just thinking the same thing, Ralph.
Sell worm farm franchises. Oh, boring.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You need some sort of anthropomorphic insect to help you out.
What in the name of...
I do remember this plot now. It's in the novel, it makes so little sense because the entire plot hinges on insurance fraud, which
Hope I haven't caused you any inconvenience.
I think like most of Ralph's
And what in the name of all that's
swindles
fair are
do.
you?
Oh, I love
My
this guy's
friends call
design.
me Terrible Termite. That is, they would if I had any friends. Would
Oh, so
you
that's the
like to
thing
be
you
my
call
friend?
yourself?
But I've never seen a termite as big
Yeah,
as you.
thank you for
Neither
calling
has
that
anyone
out.
else. I'm unique. Will
No,
you
I've never
excuse me,
seen a
please?
bear with
I feel a
spats.
snack coming on.
Very impressive.
So do you live by yourself? Because I thought termites lived like in colonies, like in
Enough
mounds.
to give you the willies, but perhaps the answer to a swindler's prayer. Yes.
Again, raising the notion of like, okay, so Ralph is reacting to this insect as if it were an insect. Like he's weirded out by it. Which sort of gives like a little indication of how far the anthropomorphism usually goes within this world.
Then you will be my friend?
I'll be more than your friend, little buddy. I'm gonna be your partner. Your business
I think it's like the
partner.
difference between funny animals and like talking animals. I think is like funny animals are essentially just humans that look like animals, and talking animals are like the termite here. Like it's not, it's unusual. It is still just the animal that it
Stepped on him
is.
and squashed him like a bug. Now just sit tight. I have a little errand to do.
Like Goofy and Pluto are dogs, but Goofy is a funny animal and Pluto is
Or any
not a
wooden
talking
house
animal. Something. There's something else. There's another way it's described.
I won't be hungry again till lunch.
Oh, they have a Kinko's in Bearland.
Raffish Ralph Termite
There we go.
Insurance. Only Raffish Ralph knows wood so good. What a
It's
scheme.
filthy,
What
Ralph.
a
I'm gonna get a
swindle.
T-shirt that
I'll
says
have to
"Only
put
Raffish
something
Ralph
up on a
knows wood so
2x4.
good." I remember that. So he's gonna sell insurance to the bears. He's gonna have the termite destroy their property and then sell them termite insurance
He started it,
or
Papa.
something. It doesn't make much sense.
He started it.
I don't care who started it. Take this basket and gather up these shavings. Your father has a big furniture order from Squire Grizzly and needs all the help he can get. And when you finish with the shavings, you can start on those wood scraps on the other side of the yard.
Yes, Mama.
In the basket, please, not on me.
I'm not doing it purposely. Hey, look.
Yeah, it's Raffish Ralph.
Well, Whatever was bothering him this
Oh my
morning,
God, a
he
nice
sure got over it.
POV. Your angry stepfather is coming home.
Raffish Ralph is my name. Termite insurance is my game. Get it well
Okay.
done. If you wait, terrible termite will be your fate. Lovely song. Let's see now. Termite insurance policy.
Is it only insurance against that one particular
Are you ready,
termite?
Stardust Ralph?
I wish you wouldn't call me that, Ralph. Yes, I'm ready.
There you are, my charming little cherubs. A delight to see you.
What you want, Ralph?
Ron?
Ooh,
Why, I
nice.
want nothing more than
Nice
a
smooth
brief
animation
chance to
there. We
have
get a
some
few
fun.
like little like
Where
show
was
off
the delightful jump?
animation segments there.
There he is.
He's pretty busy, Ralph.
Yeah, he's working on a special order for Squire Grizzly.
Oh,
Working
wow.
for the gentry.
Yeah, you've made deals with the gentry in the past there, Ralph.
Hi, Ralph. What brings you out this way?
Oh, just happened by and couldn't help stopping to admire your handsome establishment.
Establishment?
This magnificent sycamore treehouse.
Actually, it's oak, Ralph.
Oak? Oak, you say?
Absolutely. Just like this furniture I'm making.
Well, aren't you aware that the terrible Tasmanian termite thrives on oak?
Oh, the termite's like,
Tasmanian
let's
termite."
leave Tasmanian out of this. This
What
is,
happened along with this
you're getting into weird
guaranteed
racial
termite
territories
insurance,
here that
which
I'm not
is
comfortable being a
against the
part of.
Tasmanian termite.
What's all this about termites?
Don't listen to him, Papa.
It's just another one of Ralph's crooked schemes.
Calm yourselves, my dears. There's no
So what's
need
the
to be concerned.
what's the scheme
So if
here? I'm
you'll
trying to
sign
figure
right
this
here
out.
on the crooked dotted
He's trying to get
line,
Papa to sign up for a
Tasmanian termite indeed. What do you
termite
take me for,
policy.
a fool?
You tell him, Papa.
Yeah!
I happen to be a very busy bear, so you.
I assume that then he'll have the termite destroy
insurance
something
and
to make
be
Papa
on your
think
way.
there is a termite problem, and then the termite will go away. And so Papa will just keep paying into the insurance
You wound me deeply,
without
sir.
ever needing it.
I'm on my way. No need to show me the gate. I can find my way myself. Thank you. Second partner.
Here I go.
We're proud
Yeah.
of you, my dear.
Nice going, Papa.
The nerve of that Ralph coming around here with that phony termite insurance.
It's not like
I
Ralph
mean,
giving up that easy.
It's real termite insurance if you do it. Like if you do it, like it's not phony termite insurance. It might be unnecessary termite insurance, but it's real insurance. I mean, I assume if he sells it, he's got to be bound under some sort of contractual law. Like if you had signed it, Papa,
Wait for me.
and paid him a premium before the termite had
Termite
attacked,
insurance, Ralph. I've changed my mind. I'll give you.
would he then have to pay out for the claim? Like
I'll
that's
give you $50, $100.
Well, if you insist.
Whew, that really was a close call.
This whole thing looks pretty phony.
I mean, you would think Papa would be insured anyway. This is his livelihood. He must have some sort of damage,
I know a shortcut to
like
Ralph's place.
insurance against just natural disasters, if nothing else.
Get down. Here he
He
comes.
relies on the trees, so he must have like a certain like amount of insurance for his business.
Ralph, what did Mr. Bear get for his $100?
What did he get? He got the privilege of not having you eat him out of house and home.
But is that ethical? It sounds almost like a protection racket.
I was just gonna say it's not insurance; that's a protection
It is
racket.
a protection racket.
Just as we thought.
But it's not framed that way.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's a special it's a different type of protection racket payment. And I find this fascinating.
You gotta be insane.
I insist. And furthermore, I refuse to work with you ever again.
And I like the termite's voice too.
Why,
And
you
furthermore,
would-eating cockroach.
he's got a little bit of a Scooter voice going on, like a Bunsen Honeydew voice.
Let's see you eat your way out of there. And as for working with me, you will when you get hungry enough.
Just eat his whole houseboat, like it's a whole wooden houseboat. You have ample opportunity now for
Help! Help! let me
absolute
out!
revenge
I'll
against
keep you
Raffish
company
Ralph.
In a moment. But right now, I feel a terrific appetite coming
Get it,
on.
get it.
87.
Yes,
88,
here we go.
89. No, stop! Here, take the money back. Not my houseboat. No, please. I'll never do anything dishonest again.
It's all all very disappointing. I like the idea of having a job.
Don't you worry. We
There's
have a
so much in
terrific
this
job
show that's
for you.
about like trying to get jobs
However
for
did
like
you get Ralph
randos.
the money back?
With a little help from a friend.
Another thing, how did you get the yard cleaned up so fast?
Same friend. Yeah.
There's a idea I have here that I'll talk about when the episode is over in 7 seconds.
Sawdust and wood scraps. You couldn't-
Here we go. Is that it? That's it. There's no closing credits. Let's go talk. Let's go talk on the other side here. And we're back. We're back. And we just watched The Messy Room and The Talking Termite, or The Terrible Termite, or The Terrible Talking Termite, or whatever. No, he was not a ninja. He was never a ninja. He's a ninja of some sort in the book. I don't remember in what regard. My hair is crazy right now. My hair is crazy. So I remember now. I remember watching the Messy Room episode. I remember watching the Messy Room episode when it first aired. And now I remember watching it again when I covered it for this show. It's a fascinating episode because we get to see Mama Bear at her angriest animated. At her most animated. As you remember, if you remember from the book. So the book is very simple. It's brother and sister's room is a mess. Mama demands they clean it up. They hide everything in the closet. It all falls out on her. She gets so mad that she gets a box and starts throwing everything away. Papa intervenes and he's like, hey, they just need a little organization. He builds them a pegboard. He builds them some storage containers. They organize their room and everything. And everyone lives happily ever after. That's the plot of the episode. They expand on it a little bit. We get a little more background with brother and sister playing tiddlywinks. In the book, they start arguing over whose turn, like who has to pick up what. And in the episode, they like really go into that. You really get to see the building of the argument and how it all kind of manifested them running out of time to clean their room and then stashing everything in the closet. But the highlight of the episode is the fact that Mama Bear, if you remember in the book, Mama Bear explodes at them. Like there's a great picture of her like just yelling at the bear cubs. Like she's really yelling at them. And that not only totally happens in the episode, and I pointed this out while watching it, because of the nature of the episode, because we're following Mama Bear throughout the house, as she storms down to the basement to get the box and storms back up, we get to watch her be furious in animated form for quite a while. And we get to watch the cubs argue with each other in animated form. And I remember Mike telling me years ago that, one of the problems they had when they revamped the show and took it to PBS was that they weren't allowed to make the characters as intense as they get in the books. They had to be much more mellow as characters, so you never saw the cubs like throwing a tantrum. You never saw the cubs yelling at each other, or you certainly never saw Mama and Papa yelling loudly, because Papa then comes in and he's like, quiet, in the episodes. They become a little toothless once you get. That's not a slam against the PBS episodes. They're a different animal altogether. So I remember being a kid. I had the book, but I also remember being a kid and watching this episode when it first aired. It was a huge deal. In fact, in my mind, I remember this being the first episode of the series, but clearly it's just because my memory is tied up with it being probably the opening weekend of Saturday morning. So if you don't remember Saturday morning television in the 80s, particularly, there would be 2 or 3 weekends where the networks, CBS, ABC, and NBC, would roll out their new shows. And they tended to roll out the new shows in waves, so that one network would roll out their new shows, and then another network, and then another network. Sometimes they did it in the same weekend, and it got a little conflicting. But there was this sort of like few weeks of just brand new shows on the weekend to watch and sample and try out and record on the VCR while you watched other shows. It was great. It was amazing. And so my memory of this is inextricably tied in with watching that opening weekend, like being there. I may have recorded the episode and watched it a few times just to sort of like soak it in. But it stuck with me. And I think the reason it stuck with me is because of the intensity of Mama's anger, the intensity of Mama's fury. I was well familiar with it. My parents, the one thing my parents would fly off the handle at me about was my messy room. I had a terribly messy room. I continue to have a terribly messy room. I'm a terribly messy person. I'm not a filthy person, just a messy person. I'm a mess. But my parents, I said my dad went into my room and just started throwing everything into a bag to throw it away because he was so fed up with my messy room. So I totally sympathized with the Cubs. I've been in the crosshairs of an angry parent like that, and it's intense and it's scary, but also it's overwhelming trying to clean a room once it's become a nightmare. Like there is a child's bedroom just on the other side of the wall in front of me that currently needs some major cleaning, and she is very good at coming up with any excuse to not do it. And part of it is just like, it works for me. It's kind of her excuse. She's 15 years old. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But like the Cubs room, it's a walking hazard. And I like what Papa Bear says. He's like, it's not fair. Having a room in this shape isn't fair. It's not fair to your mama and me because we've got other things to do in our lives than like try to get you to clean your room. And it's not fair to you because you deserve a clean space where you can relax. It's hard to relax in a messy space. And I agree with that. So those are the words of wisdom. Don't forget that there does exist a Berenstain Bears branded room cleaning card game that you can buy. I have a copy of it, and it works. It works to clean your room with this card game. You just draw a card. It tells you, like, clean up all the 7 yellow things. And you have a little timer. You set the timer. It's a very simple game. Look it up. Pick up a copy. If you have kids if you want to gamify room cleaning, it really helps because it helps break things down into manageable chunks. That's my commercial for the Berenstain Bears Messy Room game. The second episode, The Terrible Termite, is, to me, fascinating because it is one of those Raffish Ralph episodes that is all about insurance fraud, but like from a very simplified form of insurance fraud in a way that, like, I don't know if kids would really understand what he was getting at. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's sort of backwards insurance fraud that becomes a protection racket, but then it gets called out in the episode as more of a protection racket. So I'm like, I don't know how much this made sense when they were writing it, and then they realized, oh, we've done something. It doesn't really make sense. The long and short of it is Ralph is bored of his swindlings. Raffish Ralph is bored of swindling. He needs a new scheme. He wants to take advantage of Papa Q Bear. And he just happens to run into a termite who is larger than most and is a lonely boy. Because he's too big. He has no friends. Everyone calls him Terrible Termite, or he calls himself Terrible Termite, but he has no friends. He's bigger than other termites, so he kind of stands out. He's all by himself. So Ralph hires him, more or less, to participate in a scheme where he's like, I'll sell termite insurance, and that's it. Like, that's his plan. So he goes to Papa Q Bear, and he's like, look, there's a terrible Tasmanian termite loose in this neighborhood, or the termites, there's an infestation. You build things out of wood. You need insurance against these termites. And Papa's like, stuff and nonsense. That doesn't make any sense. There's no such thing. I don't need insurance. So the scam is that then Ralph sends the termite to Papa Bear's place of business, eats like his stool out from under him. So then Papa's like, I need the insurance. And then the idea is that then Ralph would take the money for Papa's insurance. Papa would presumably continue paying into this insurance plan, but the termite's never going to come back. So in a way, it's a protection racket. And if Papa stops paying, the termite comes back, which I guess makes sense. But the termite himself calls that out. He's like, this isn't really an insurance scam. It's really just you're paying, Papa's paying you for me not to come back, except you don't tell him. Like, usually in a protection racket, you threaten a person if they don't pay you. It's couched in the language of, I'm going to protect you against anything bad happening, but that's not what insurance is. Insurance is, if something bad does happen, we pay you out. Now, what would have been so the termite knows this is ethically dubious. And by ethically dubious, I mean it's ethically, morally, and everything wrong. It's wrong to do this. He refuses to go along with it, so Ralph shuts him in his mailbox. The Cubs rescue him, and the termite attacks Ralph's boathouse, which is amazing because while I'm watching it, I was like, the termite should just eat his house out from under him. Ralph lives on the water in a boat made out of like old wood. The termite could easily, and he does. The termite just eats his gangplank, starts chewing through the thing. Ralph gives him Papa Q Bear's, I keep calling him that, gives him back Papa's money, returns it to Papa. The end. However, the termite ends up helping the Cubs with their yard work. However, thinking this through a little bit, I'm like, a better thing to do would have been let Ralph keep that money, have the termite then destroy a ton of stuff in Papa's house, have him destroy the Papa's shed, have him eat a bunch of chairs Papa's made, just have him go hog wild, because then Ralph would legally, because Papa signed the contract, Ralph would then legally be obligated to pay out to Papa the value of what he lost because he bought insurance. You could have turned this scam back onto Ralph, and if he didn't pay out, then you could report him and he'd go to jail. So there's a lot of different avenues they could have taken if it were a longer episode. Now, in the book, I believe Ralph hits a bunch more houses. It somehow ends up like in a museum or something. There's like a lumber mill. I don't remember. It's a novel, so it's a much more expanded version of the story. So one of the points I kept making throughout the episode, and then something that really stood out to me in this particular episode, and this has been the case in a few other episodes, is that Ralph, and this happens in the novel too, it's the Berenstain Bears scouts and the terrible talking termite, and this happens in the book especially. You see on the cover, you see cousin Fred reacting to the termite in like terror and revulsion. Is that in the cartoon Ralph does? He's like, "Wow, this is weird. Why are you talking?" There is a differentiation between what is known as funny animals and what's known as civilized animals or talking animals. Civilized animals are like between talking and funny. A funny animal, and this is like a comic book expression, like used for like anthropomorphized animals. Funny animals are essentially characters who may as well be humans, except they are animals. Think, the example given is talking animal is Scooby-Doo. A funny animal is Scrappy-Doo. Scooby-Doo is a dog who talks. He is essentially just a dog who is capable of human speech. Scrappy-Doo might as well just be a little guy because he's just a little man. He's a little person he looks like kind of like a dog, but he walks around on his hind legs. He openly converses with people. He can drive a car. Like he's just a person who looks like a weird guy. Whereas Scooby, it's also the difference between Pluto and Goofy. So Goofy is definitely a funny animal. There is nothing dog-like about Goofy at all. He may as well just be a weird-looking guy. However, Pluto is he's like a lesser animal. Like he's not even a talking animal because he doesn't talk. He is just an animal. He's slightly anthropomorphized because he's still intelligent, like almost like a character, like a person, but he's not a funny animal, if that makes any sense. So you have anthropomorphic, which is anything that's non-human but acts like a human, like or looks or shaped like a person, like Yogi Bear, things like that. You have zoomorphic, which refers to something like that's sort of just shaped like an animal of sorts, and then you have anthrozoomorphic. And that's just animals that act human. So anything non-human with human characteristics is anthropomorphic. Anything that is an animal who acts like a human is actually anthrozoomorphic. I say anthropomorphic, it is a general term, but it's really anthrozoomorphic is what the bears are. So the bears are funny animals. There's very little that's bear-like about them, except when the plot needs to be. Their hibernation, the honey, the salmon, things like that. They live in trees. But they are, for all intents and purposes, just people. They're just people with a few bear traits. Whereas the termites and insects in the bear world are typically just insects. Now, we see a lot more anthrozoomorphism with, like, the bees. The termite, however, is talking. It's literally conversing with Ralph. And that's presumably very unusual. Presumably, termites are generally, and other insects, generally are not this much toward the funny animal. They don't generally wear clothes like this. They don't generally hold long conversations, and they generally aren't larger than an insect should be. The bees are bee size. This termite is not termite size. And I'm fascinated by them calling this out. Ralph says, like, you're a little big for a termite. This is weird. And in the book, the cubs are like, whoa, 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 talking termite. And I remember thinking that was strange when I first read the book and being like, wait, don't animals talk here? But then I remember that, like, the talking trout or the talking catfish in that episode, which I don't think we've watched yet, doesn't talk in the book, if I remember correctly. Maybe like in the storybook it doesn't talk because the animal's funny. There generally aren't anthrozoomorphic animals besides bears in the books, whereas in the episodes, yes, it's anyone for themselves. So I just want to point that out. I thought that was interesting. It was an interesting thing to do. It's interesting they pointed out the protection racket thing. It's interesting they pointed out sort of a almost genre savvy characters by this point. The Cubs see Ralph, he's acting dejected, and they're like, oh, just avoid him. They're like, by this point, they're like, you're a swindler. And he says, he's like, your Papa Bear is my favorite Rube. I mean, your Mark. I mean, Bear. And they're like, we know that he's like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm trying to get out of here. Like, it's by this point, they are aware of their place, their individual places in bear country. And I find that amusing. I find it amusing that they're all a little bit now savvy of what type of show they're in. They are in the Berenstain Bears Saturday morning TV show, which is what we just watched. We just watched the Berenstain Bears Saturday morning TV show. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'll be back next week with even more Berenstain Bears madness. We're going to watch 2 more episodes, or 1 more episode in 2 more parts. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a good time. We're going to love one another and support one another and be awesome neighbors. And that's really it. I don't have much else to say. Thank you once again, and I'll see you all next time, deep in